Hi, welcome back to the channel. I'm Eugene Day. Today, I just want to share a little bit of an update about what's been going on in my layoff journey and where I am and what I'm looking forward to next. So, currently, I still technically have about 2 weeks left of employment with my former employer. I'm on administrative leave until November 15th. And after that, I receive my severance. So that really does give me a nice long runway to prepare a few things for the future. And luckily, I have been doing little consulting jobs for a very long time in my career now. I've done them for at least 12 or 15 years. And when I first got my PhD in systems engineering, that was my plan, was to open a consulting company and do consulting as a career. And so I have a little bit of familiarity with this. I have a comfort level with this. And I have a small client list. I have two companies right now that are interested in working with me, two hospitals. One is a large adult hospital that I've worked with in the past and already modeled, and they are looking for me to provide them some new insights on some new questions that they have. And the other is a new client, someone actually that reached out to me 5 or 6 years ago, interested in some analysis that I could do for them, but that one never materialized. And now they are interested again, and we are much further along in the process and have already signed a business associates agreement. And so I would expect that one to be starting very soon. And I'm really excited about it. So that's very promising. Now, unfortunately, neither of these clients, or even both together, are lucrative enough to replace my salary compared with when I was working for my last employer, but they are definitely enough that it covers my essential expenses and contributes to my family finances and helps me pay my mortgage and things like that. So I feel like I have a really good opportunity to take the time afforded to me by these two clients and the severance that I'm receiving from my former employer, and spend that learning to actually run a consulting business in a sophisticated way, right? Instead of just occasionally doing projects for clients that find me by reading my papers and saying, hey, we should do something like that here. Let's reach out to this guy. If I am going to actually attempt to make a living out of consulting, then I'm going to need this time to work hard on developing a more robust client list and a more sophisticated ability to market myself and market my successes. And of course, the nice thing about the type of work that I do is that it's always kind of open ended. I create a discrete event simulation of a hospital system and then answer a few questions. And typically speaking, once we've answered a few questions and they have been able to determine the return on investment that I can bring for them, they are interested in following up with more and more questions as time goes by. And the initial modeling phase is, of course, much more labor intensive, and thus I end up charging a lot more for it. Once the model is built, you can query it for any number of different strategic or tactical or performance ideas, and you can get answers out of it for a long time. Typically, you need to refresh them with new data every year or so, but there's a long runway of model utility that allows me to continue to work with a client for a long time. And so while that's a lot less time intensive and therefore a lot cheaper for the client to continue to answer those questions, if I have 3 or 4 clients who are asking me questions each once or twice a month, that is not a terrible level of income for me and my family. So I'm excited about that and about building a stable of clients that are asking continuous questions. So starting with two, I feel like I'm in a pretty good place, and I hope that I can do some networking to bring on 1 or 2 more clients. And realistically, I don't know that I could manage more than 5 or 6 total, which would be a lot. especially if they all had follow-up questions on a sort of rolling basis, which would really make for a fine career for me. That would be great. And if I have more than that, then hey, maybe I have a real consulting company and I can hire people to help develop out a larger portfolio. And additionally, I have another very exciting opportunity. I'm meeting on November 5th with a large, well known healthcare consulting organization. It's not exactly an interview because they are not looking to hire me as an FTE, but they are looking to contract with me and with my new company to consider simulation of perhaps larger scale health system level type engagements, which would be very, very exciting and would probably be a larger bolus of work that would consume a lot more of my resources for a longer time. And if that were to come to fruition, then I would be extraordinarily stable for a reasonably long time. So I would be very excited about that. That's the kind of thing that could turn into a longer term uh, consulting arrangement. And it could even turn into an FTE if they decided, hey, we like this guy, we really want to invest in him. It'll be cheaper for us to hire him on rather than continue to pay him as a consultant, because consultants charge high fees. And we do that because we have to do a lot of work that we don't get paid for in terms of marketing and writing up results and all kinds of things. We can only be on the clock for a client a specific amount of time while we're doing specific work for that client, and the rest of the work that we have to do is all unpaid. And so that's why consulting rates are pretty high, is it has to cover that extra time as well. So I have a lot of prospects right now. I am meeting with an accountant later today to set up my LLC so that I can have all of this done kosher according to the laws of the state and country that I live in. And I'm excited about that. And I think I have a good name for my company, and we're going to proceed from there. So that's today's update. I'm excited. I feel productive. I feel engaged. I've had a month and a half off of work now, and I am very pleased with that. It has been restorative. It really has. So honestly speaking, I don't feel terrible that I got laid off at the moment. I think I have a lot of prospects, and I think that I am moving in a direction that's going to be good for me and my family. And that makes me very, very happy today. So thank you very much. YouTube thinks you're going to like this. I would love it if you would like and subscribe. And I really appreciate everything that you're doing.